Welcome to History with Herodotus, where we delve into the vast expanse of human experience, navigating the complexities of our collective past. Today, we embark on a journey to the Pacific theater of World War II to explore one of the most pivotal and brutal battles in modern history, the Battle of Okinawa. This epic clash between the Allied forces and the Imperial Japanese Army would claim over 240,000 lives, leaving an indelible mark on the trajectory of the war. The strategic island of Okinawa, situated at the southernmost tip of the Ryukyu archipelago, had become a crucial stronghold for the Imperial Japanese forces. Its capture would provide the Allies with a vital airbase and staging area for a potential invasion of Japan. To understand the events leading up to the Battle of Okinawa, we must first examine the Allied campaign in the Pacific, which had been gaining momentum since the pivotal Battle of Midway in 1942. The successful landing on the island of Guam in August 1944 had secured a vital airbase for the Allies, while the bloody battles on Iwo Jima and Tarawa had demonstrated the ferocity and determination of both sides. In the months preceding the Battle of Okinawa, the Allied forces, led by General Douglas MacArthur and Admiral Chester Nimitz, were busy planning and preparing for a series of amphibious assaults on key Japanese strongholds. The codename Operation Iceberg was assigned to the invasion of Okinawa, with the primary objective of securing the island's airfields, ports, and strategic high ground. As we navigate the complex web of events leading up to the battle, we find ourselves in the midst of a maelstrom of military planning, diplomatic intrigue, and human drama. The Allied commanders were well aware of the formidable defenses that the Japanese had constructed on Okinawa, including an extensive network of tunnels, bunkers, and pillboxes. The Japanese forces, led by General Mitsuru Ushijima, were equally determined to defend their territory at all costs, driven by a potent mix of nationalism, honor, and desperation. In the weeks preceding the invasion, the Allies launched a series of intense bombing campaigns against Okinawa's defenses, seeking to weaken the Japanese positions and pave the way for a successful landing. The U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet, under the command of Admiral Raymond Spruance, played a crucial role in these operations, with its carrier-based aircraft and battleships pounding the island's coastal defenses. Meanwhile, on the ground, the Japanese forces were busy preparing for the inevitable invasion, constructing elaborate defensive positions and mobilizing their troops for a fierce resistance. The landscape of Okinawa itself would become a key player in the battle, with its rugged terrain, dense jungles, and labyrinthine cave systems providing a formidable obstacle course for the invading forces. As the Allied forces prepared to launch their assault on Okinawa, the Japanese defenders were busy putting the finishing touches on their elaborate defensive network. On March 23, 1945, the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet began a series of intense bombardments against the island's coastal defenses, with battleships and cruisers pounding the shoreline with precision-guided shells. The cacophony of explosions and screams of wounded men filled the air as the Japanese troops huddled in their bunkers, waiting for the inevitable invasion. On Easter Sunday, April 1, 1945, the Allied forces launched a massive amphibious assault on the western coast of Okinawa, with the U.S. 10th Army's XX-4 Corps and 3 amphibious corps leading the charge. The landing beaches, codenamed Blue Beach and White Beach, were situated near the town of Hagushi, where the Japanese had constructed a series of formidable defensive positions. As the Allied troops stormed ashore, they were met with a hail of bullets and artillery fire, but the sheer weight of their numbers and firepower eventually began to tell. One of the most iconic moments of the battle occurred on April 2, 1945, when a group of U.S. Marines from the 1st Division raised the American flag atop a strategic hill overlooking the landing beaches. The scene was reminiscent of the famous flag raising on Iwo Jima, and it symbolized the Allied forces' determination to secure the island at all costs. As General Simon Bolivar Buckner, Jr., commander of the U.S. 10th Army, observed, "The enemy is well-trained, well-equipped, and determined to fight to the last man. We must be prepared to face a long and bloody battle." As the days turned into weeks, the battle for Okinawa became a grueling war of attrition, with both sides suffering heavy casualties. The Japanese defenders, led by General Mitsuru Ushijima, employed a range of tactics, from suicidal banzai charges to cleverly laid booby traps, in an attempt to whittle down the Allied forces. Meanwhile, the Allies responded with their own brand of firepower, unleashing massive artillery barrages and aerial bombing campaigns against the Japanese positions. On May 11, 1945, a particularly intense battle erupted on the island's southern tip, where the U.S. Army's 77th Division was attempting to secure the strategic town of Shuri. The fighting was fierce and chaotic, with both sides trading blows in a series of brutal hand-to-hand combat engagements. As one U.S. soldier recalled, the Japanese were everywhere, hiding in caves, tunnels, and behind rocks. We had to use flamethrowers and grenades just to clear them out. As the battle raged on, the Allied forces began to gain the upper hand, slowly but surely pushing the Japanese defenders back towards the island's southern tip. On June 18, 1945, General Buckner was killed in action by a stray shell, becoming one of the highest-ranking U.S. officers to die in the Pacific theater. His death was a sobering reminder of the terrible costs of war, but it also galvanized the Allied forces to press on towards victory. As General Buckner's death sent shockwaves through the Allied command, his successor, General Roy Geiger, took the reins and pressed on with the campaign to secure Okinawa. The battle was far from over, as the Japanese defenders continued to fight tenaciously, employing guerrilla tactics and exploiting the island's rugged terrain to their advantage. However, the Allies' superior firepower and numerical superiority eventually began to take its toll, and by June 22, 1945, the Japanese forces had been pushed back to the southernmost tip of the island. The final days of the battle were marked by intense fighting as the Allies sought to eliminate the remaining pockets of Japanese resistance. On June 21, 1945, a group of U.S. Marines from the 6th Division reached the southern coast of Okinawa, marking the end of organized Japanese resistance on the island. The next day, General Geiger declared the island secure, and the battle for Okinawa officially came to an end. The aftermath of the battle was marked by a period of occupation and reconstruction, as the Allies worked to restore order and rebuild the devastated island. The battle had come at a terrible cost, with over 72,000 Allied casualties, including more than 12,000 dead and an estimated 110,000 Japanese soldiers killed. The civilian population had also suffered greatly, with tens of thousands killed or wounded, and many more left homeless. As the years passed, the Battle of Okinawa would come to be remembered as one of the bloodiest and most brutal conflicts of the Pacific War. It would serve as a stark reminder of the horrors of war and the sacrifices made by soldiers on both sides. As historian George Pfeiffer noted, the battle for Okinawa was a microcosm of the entire Pacific War, with its unique blend of savagery, sacrifice, and strategic importance. Today, the Battle of Okinawa is commemorated by memorials and museums on the island, which serve as a testament to the enduring legacy of the conflict. The battle's impact can still be felt in the modern-day tensions between Japan and the United States, as well as in the ongoing debates over the role of military force in international relations. The Battle of Okinawa also played a significant role in shaping the course of World War II, as it provided a crucial staging ground for the Allied invasion of mainland Japan. The battle's outcome helped to convince Japanese leaders that continued resistance was futile and ultimately contributed to the country's decision to surrender in August 1945. It serves as a powerful reminder of the devastating consequences of conflict and the importance of striving for peace and understanding in international relations. That's all for today's History with Herodotus. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, remember that to understand the present, we must first understand the past.